Welcome to the Rap Soul Podcast, where we dive deep into the world of music that moves our hearts and gets our feet tapping. This is the intersection of rap and soul music from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. We appreciate you for listening. Share this podcast with a friend or family member who loves music as much as you do. The podcast is hosted by 12 Kyle. Next up, the Rap Soul Podcast.
When you record a concert on your phone, the audio's terrible, right? It sounds great in the arena, but it sounds terrible on your phone. And there's not one person that will record something and put it on Instagram and you listen to it and you're like, oh man, it sounds dope. It doesn't. It sounds bad. Welcome to another edition of the Rap Soul Podcast. I am your boy 12 Kyle. I want to thank you all for tuning in as you do each and every week. Again, this is the Rap Soul Podcast. This is the intersection where we have discussions about music and artists from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s when it comes to rap, hip hop, soul, and R&B. Simply put, folks, this is the best music podcast that you have never heard until right now. Again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to those of you who are watching on YouTube as well as Spotify. All right, check this out. So you see the headline. At the time of this recording, a few weeks ago, the legend, Jill Scott, made a few headlines when she announced her world tour, or USA tour, I should say. And while people were scrambling, trying to find, dates and, venues that they were going to attend, she also made it be known that if you came to her concert, you could not bring your cell phone. Well, I mean, technically you could, but no cell phones will be allowed in the venue where you're actually going to see her perform. Now they'll have pouches or boxes or however they do it. I'm not sure how they do it because I haven't been to a concert where they don't allow cell phones, but she announced that, and there was a lot of discussion on social media about it. And surprisingly to me, there was quite a bit of pushback from it. And it got me to thinking, like, why not just ban cell phones altogether? And the reason why I say that is because there's a couple of things that I want to talk about on this episode as to why I think we probably should, get rid of cell phones as far as concerts are concerned. Now, I know the number one thing people will say, well, what happens in the event of an emergency? I mean, I'll put it like this. I can't speak for everybody, but like I have an iPhone, right? My iPhone is paired with my Apple Watch. So in the event I get a phone call, if I don't have my cell phone, it's going to, I take that back. Anytime my cell phone rings, my wrist buzzes. So I'm going to get notification either way of a text message, of an email, or a phone call. Now, granted, I can't answer the phone via my Apple Watch during a concert. I probably could, but they wouldn't be able to hear me. But the point is that I could be notified of an emergency. I know my cases could be a little bit different from a lot of other people, but I'm just using that as an example because that's always the concern as you talk about taking away from someone's cell phones. But there's a couple of points that I want to get to tell you why I think you probably should ban cell phones. Again, I wasn't mad at Jill for announcing this. I was a little bit surprised at some of the pushback. I saw some comments, and I really honestly don't check out the comments a lot. But even in the announcement of her, announcing this tour, people were saying that, hey, this sounds great. I can't wait to see her. And then after that, then the word came out that they weren't going to have cell phones there. There were quite a few people that were like, oh, I'm not going. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're going to actually miss a Jill Scott concert because you can't take your cell phone? And it made me think about the times where I have gone to concerts and taken my cell phone. I don't go to a lot of concerts because I don't like people. I'm just joking. for me to go to a concert, it's got to be good, and it has to be everybody that I want to see. Like I don't do as much as I think some of these festivals are great. I'm not going to pay money for a festival for 10 artists and I only like 2 of the artists. I'm not doing that. I'm not even going to pay for a festival that if it's 10 artists performing and I like 7 of them. I'm not doing that. I'm not. I want to go to a festival where if there are 10 artists performing, I need to like all 10 artists. You know, or at least at the very least be familiar with their music. Um but the last couple of concerts that I have gone to, um I did have my cell phone, and while I didn't stand there and just hold it like a dummy and just, film all night, I did have a couple of moments where I wanted to capture pictures, and I did that. And a couple of times where I captured some video, and I'm going to talk about that in just a few. Um, but I think we probably should look at banning cell phones from concerts. Because here's the thing: there are comedy shows and there are comedians where you can't bring a cell phone. I mean, like if you go see Dave Chappelle, for instance, or maybe Kevin Hart, I don't think you can bring your cell phone in there to record or, just have it with you because people are going to record it. We already know that. And I'll be honest, when people take their cell phones to the concerts and then they record it and then they put it online, it doesn't help the other consumers or make them want to go to their concerts even more because it's like okay, I'll use Kendrick Lamar for example. I saw so much of Kendrick Lamar's last tour online, even if and not that I was ever going. I mean, I'm a big fan of K-Dots, but if I were going, I'm not going. I mean, like I literally saw his his whole show, and I don't know if he switches up the songs, if he switches up the playlist, and has this block here or that block there for different shows. But no, I mean it's not. There was nothing that I needed to see that I felt like I hadn't seen before. Same for Beyonce. Beyonce's last tour, uh, I saw what I think was just about her whole tour online on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. And there were people who were posting clips, and I get it, but at the same time, when you're inundated with with so much of that stuff, um, you feel like you've seen it all. And again, not that I was ever going to a Beyonce concert. While I love and respect her music, I'm not a fan. So, it didn't bother me to see it. I thought she put on a really good show. My wife went and she sent me some videos and it was cool. But again, I'll put it like this. Even the video that my wife sent me when she was at the show wasn't any different from the videos that I saw. The only difference is whatever angle where you're sitting or where you're standing. Um, and from what I understand, Beyonce was charging a grip for those tickets. But that's beside the point. But a couple of things. Number one, if you are in a concert and you're recording the concert, you miss the moment. I've always been a fan of being in the moment with things, and I think you miss the moment trying to create a moment for someone who's not there for the moment, if that makes sense. Um, and at this stage, I'm not into that. It didn't make any sense. I'll never forget uh, some years back. I think it was had to be like 2019. I think I got a chance to see one of my favorite MCs of all time, Rakim, the God. He was here in Atlanta where I live, and I got a chance to see him. I'd never seen Rakim perform live ever. Only just videos, and that was it. And Rakim at the time, I don't think for most of my life, at least I don't remember him doing a lot of touring. But he was here, and I was like, yo, I gotta go see Rakim. I gotta go see the God. And I, tweeted about it, and somebody asked me, said, and I think at that particular time, the app that was pretty popular on Twitter was an app called Periscope. I don't even know if Periscope is still in business. But I remember one of my followers saying, hey, are you going to stream it so we can see it? Huh? Hey, man. I paid the $35 to come see the God. I'm not streaming this for you. And I do remember filming one video, and it was only a 10-second clip, and I only wanted to do it for 10 seconds because I wanted to have that to remember my time with Rakim. And I had a great seat. I was in the balcony, sitting down, and it was cool. Um, but that's what it was. And I was a little disturbed by the fact that somebody would actually ask me if I was going to stream it live for everybody else to see when you it's not the same as being it. It's just not. And what they were asking me to do was to create a moment for them. And in creating a moment for them, I would have missed my time with Rakim because I'm too busy creating a moment for some other people. And that's not cool. That's not cool. So I think I'm all about the moment. Time moves for all of us. And we don't know how many times we'll get a chance to see said artist. I always talk about the one artist that I wanted to see, ironically, that never saw it, and I'm a huge fan, was Prince. And ironically, I saw Rakim the week before Prince came, and I found out later about the Prince concert, and I was like, oh man, I'll catch Prince, and I'll catch him next time. And that was the last show. The show that he did in Atlanta was the last show he did because the show was like on a Wednesday night. I saw Rakim the previous Thursday, I think. Prince was here Wednesday night. It was the piano show. It was just him and the piano. Man, I think it was called like Man and the Piano or something like that. And one of my homeboys went to the show. He said it was incredible, crazy, 2.5, 3 hour show. And, that was his last show. Flew back to Minneapolis, got sick on the way to Minneapolis, had to make a stop somewhere in like Nebraska or something like that. And that Monday he passed. And as a huge Prince fan, I, to this day, still kick myself. But I don't think that you could have brought a cell phone in Prince's show. I'm gonna step out on a limb and say nobody had their cell phones in it. And if you did, you were sneaking and you weren't supposed to have your cell phone in there. But again, I'm not into creating moments and missing the moment myself, because if I had gone to the Prince concert while dealing with his untimely passing was tough, it would have been a little bit easier had I seen him. And I don't necessarily had to have seen him and to show the world like, hey, this is his last show. No. But yeah, I don't want to miss the moment to create a moment for someone who's not there for the moment. Another thing, if you've got your cell phone at a concert and you got it up, you're probably blocking somebody's view. I mean, let's just be honest. You're probably blocking somebody's view. And the last thing you want to do is be in the way. And, everybody's not tall. Everybody's not 6'7". And so I would appreciate it, as a guy who's 5'7", I would appreciate it if you get the hell out the way. I mean, I can find angles. I can find lanes where I can see the show or see the stage. I don't want to have to be at the concert looking at the screen. But at the same time, I don't need you and your, phone in your hand in my vision or in my sight, or even bumping into me because you don't know where you are, or you're not sure how close you are to other people. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. And another thing too, like when you got your cell phone, you can't get hype. I mean, like nobody gets hype when they have their cell phone out. You're focused on whatever it is you're recording or whomever you are recording. So you're not getting hype. And I mean, like, I thought the purpose of going to a concert was to enjoy the live music. And at some point you got to get hype. You got to jump around. You got to dance. I mean, you're not dancing if you got your cell phone out. Every time I think about cell phones at a concert, I think about a few years back, MTV was celebrating, I think it was Yo MTV Raps, or they were celebrating like 30 years of MTV or something like that. And the show was being streamed live on YouTube, and it was hosted by Dr. Dre and Ed Lover. And I'll never forget, they brought out a bunch of these rap acts, and it was cool. And me and the homie collected, shout out to E. We were tweeting and texting back and forth about it. And I'll never forget, Black Sheep came out and they did The Choice Is Yours. And Drez goes, engine number 9 on the New York Transit line. If my train goes off the track, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. And if you're a fan of hip hop, when he says pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, you know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to jump in the air like crazy. You're supposed to lose your shit. And he literally said, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. And he started jumping up and down, and the fans were just doing this. They were just holding their cell phones, and some didn't know what the hell was going on, which tells me that they were probably too young to be where they were standing. They probably should have been way in the back or way up at the top. But nonetheless, I mean, like, it was bad. I mean, like, me and E just laughed about it. And we were also disappointed too, because that was just whack. And it was so bad, y'all, that Drez actually stopped the song. And he said, hey, he said, we're going to do this again. He was like, when I get to pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, you got to jump up and down. And I'm sure that there was an older generation. The older crowd was probably in the balcony because they're old like me, and they didn't want to be down in the middle or on the floor with the young roughhouse people. And so I get it. And so we didn't see them on camera. But the camera angle that we saw was the people who didn't know to jump up and down when it was time to pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. And so, yeah, you can't dance when you got your cell phone in your hand. You can't jump up and down. Or at least you probably won't. And so that can be problematic in and of itself. Next thing, if you're filming at a concert, you're probably never going to watch those videos again, because you're going to post the videos if you post them, because some people will film videos at a concert and never post them. So the question I have is, when is the last time that you went to a concert and recorded something and you went back and watched the video that you filmed? 5 months? A year? 2 years? 10 years? It's probably been a while. Because the thing is, we don't go back to those videos once they get posted. And again, some of them never get posted. So if you record the video at the Beyonce concert of her doing Single Ladies, and you're filming her dancing and gyrating and twerking or whatever she's doing, and it's just in your phone, and you never go back and listen to it, then what's the purpose in filming it to begin with? Particularly if you never post it. It's kind of pointless if you ask me. But yeah, I don't think people ever go back to those videos. And I'll be honest, I'll throw my hand up. I'm included in this. The videos that I took at the last few concerts that I've got, I'll go back and watch them every now and then. And I think, like, probably the last one that I will watch is I was at the Wu-Tang and Nas concert a couple of years back. And I was there with our oldest son, Dion. And so he's a big Wu-Tang fan, big Nas fan. And so I remember he and I were doing, I think we was rapping The World Is Yours by Nas. Nas is on stage, but I turned the camera around. I was filming him and he and I going back and forth trading Nas verses. So yeah, I mean, now that video I watched because it's very sentimental. I almost broke into tears. But outside of that, no. I mean, every now and then I watch a video because I shot maybe 3 videos from that concert. But outside of that, I mean, even the aforementioned Rakim video that I talked about, I don't even think that video is in my phone anymore. I know I posted it on Instagram, so I'm assuming it's still there. But it's so, I mean, it was pre-pandemic, So look how far back I got to go to watch it. So suffice to say, I haven't seen a video in a few years. And I'm willing to bet that there's a lot of us who have these videos in our phone. And again, we're never going back and looking at them. And last but not least, let me just state the obvious. When you when you record a concert on your phone, the audio's terrible, right? It sounds great in the arena, but it sounds terrible on your phone. And there's not one person that will record something and put it on Instagram and you listen to it and you're like, oh man, it sounds dope. It doesn't. It sounds bad. Most of them sound even worse if you're moving around. But no, the audio's never going to sound good because it's not meant for you to be recording. And it's not meant to pass through all of these streams of taking it from your phone, the audio from your phone, and the visuals from your phone and putting it on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or wherever you put it. And so it doesn't sound good at all. I remember, I did record New Edition. Sharice and I went to see New Edition a couple of years ago, and I recorded them when they started If It Isn't Love, because I just recorded the choreography. Again, maybe 10 seconds. That sounded pretty decent. But for the most part, most of the videos, I would say 90% of the videos that I see when people go to concerts, the sound is trash. The video quality is dope, but the sound is trash. And so, it's like, again, it asks the question, why even post it? Well, you won't post it if you don't have your cell phone. And so maybe, just maybe, Jill Scott's not on to a bad thing. I'm only using Jill because this is something that just recently made the news, but this has been going on for a while. And in conclusion, I think we probably should look at that because at the end of the day, if we leave our cell phones away, we'll be able to be present and be in the moment. We'll be able to enjoy the concerts. We won't have to worry about videos that we won't watch again. We won't have to worry about how loud it is. And then at the end of the day, maybe we will pick it up. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me. Thanks again for checking out this edition of the Rap Soul Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast. We drop new episodes every Thursday. Also, don't forget about the 12 Kyle podcast. That's my personal podcast. We drop new episodes every Thursday there as well. You can find the 12 Kyle podcast wherever you're listening or watching to this podcast as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me. Thanks again for checking out this edition of the Rap Soul Podcast. I am your boy 12 Kyle. I'll catch you guys next time. 5,000. Cheer.
Thank you for listening. This concludes the episode. Be sure to subscribe to the Rap Soul Podcast. You can find the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Follow the podcast on social media. And feel free to continue this discussion on our Reddit page. More importantly, share this podcast with a friend or family member who loves music as much as you do. Until next time, 5,000.